I have been reading romance books for 5 years now. And something I just realized, and something that kind of pisses me off, but at the same time, I'm glad I realized this, was I prefer reading BL manhwas than reading straight books or mangas. Now, okay, this is not a debate about which is better, it's your preference, or I'm not here to fawn my Fujoshi side. But the focus here is that I've been reading since I was in eighth grade, and what just hits me now is that there was a time when I was crazy behind the fact that I needed to be a good person, that I have to be a good person. I am a good person with genuine intentions, but there was this very opinion and belief that I had to be very kind, something that like exaggerated version of myself. I am sunshiny, but I had to be exaggerated version of it. I am a good person with genuine intentions. I had to exaggerate that part of myself. I was kind sometimes, which I learned from my parents, but I had to exaggerate that part of myself. Now, where does this come from? Is the female main leads, the main characters who get the dude, because it is getting inclusive. There are so many genres under the romance comedy genre, and all of them, there are so many kinds of people. Someone who is bubbly, someone who is has a tough exterior but has a kind heart, is soft, someone who is sensitive, someone who is nerdy, someone who is introvert, extrovert. We have all kinds of girls, which is good, which is what we need. But though we have these different scenarios, one fact that does not change is that she never talks bad about someone. The main character, does not have a mean bone. And even if she does, she's very soft. She is like puppy soft, and like the soul of her is like too clear, or stuff like that. And I just thought that it could be, but then it's just this very unconscious fact that I picked up, that I had to be kind, I had to be this. Now maybe you could take this in a good way, that it teaches you that you have these certain values that you need to have. But what I'm saying is that it's the conscious way of molding yourself in that way, like the exaggerated kindness I had to show, hoping that someone would pick me up, someone would pick me out of like those 10 peoples or those 10 girls that are there. For me to find love, I had to like stretch myself out, shrink these parts, mold myself, be the sunshiny, because sunshiny is a trend, which I already am, but I had to exaggerate that part of myself. We all have certain good values, but you need to have extra, you need to have more. And that's what my younger self interpreted, that if you are a genuine person, if you are a very good person, if you're like a very kind-hearted person, only then you get someone, only then you get the dude. But the thing they did not talk about is I can be a good person and still have bad thoughts when I'm low. Yes, it makes me a good person if I don't act on it, if I don't hurt someone intentionally. But what it doesn't justify, or what it doesn't talk about, is that there are times when you have bad thoughts. There are times when you don't wish good for people, as bad as it is. But there are times you feel jealous, you feel inferior, you don't talk to people because you feel inferior to them. And there are times you still have friendships, and you do have that inferiority complex, but because you value the friendship, you just suppress it, or like you don't bring it in between. Or there are so many complicated human emotions than just having fear, or like having some trauma, and that's all. Like they have like one scenario where both of them like talk about it, and that's where the story ends. No, that's not where the story ends, that's not where it should be ending. And I know you have limited pages, limited words, we can't add all of that, but what I'm talking about is maybe we need to check on, am I cultivating some kind of beliefs that are gonna show up later in my life? Because maybe you're reading and you're enjoying it and it's all good, but it is slowly, implicitly becoming a part of your thought process, and it could maybe control the way you act around other people. It could be these certain beliefs, these certain expectations you suddenly start having out of yourself, that I need to be this way, I need to act this way, or else I'm not going to be accepted by people. Because you can be a good person, and there are people who won't stay long enough to know that. And you don't have to exaggerate those parts of yourself or show that to other people, because you're a good person, you know it, and people who will stay behind will also figure that out, because they are staying behind because they know that you're someone who's really nice and someone who they really vibe with. And it just hit me, because when I'm reading those romance books, I somehow, in at some point, unconsciously make myself think of that female character, the main character, and visualize myself or connect myself with that character and compare on how I am, and maybe justify, maybe that's the reason why I did not find anyone, which is just hilarious at this point. So that's the thing. And when I read BL, I don't have a female character I need to like think about, like, and it's usually not about, oh, how kind you are, I just fell for you because you were so generous. No. So okay, this is not a debate about that again, but something that I just realized, that I had this sudden influence, and maybe there are bits of pieces still left in me from that thought process, that I need to be this certain way, I need to be seen this certain ways. So just be maybe conscious about it. Maybe sit and think that, is it happening? And maybe it would just hit you out of nowhere, to be honest. It's just gonna hit you out of nowhere that, hold up, maybe the way I'm behaving is being controlled by this factor in my life right now. It could also not be, but at the same time, if you're reading romance very continuously, which I do, this could very much likely happen. So you know yourself the most, and enjoy reading it. I'm not saying stop reading it, it's very fun. I love reading fiction. I'm not gonna ever stop reading fiction, but there are times we need to sit down and think that, am I unconsciously calculating any opinions or beliefs? That's it.